Well, Kenny, on Saturday, July the 1st, you're back in action in Quest Boxing League down at the Brighton Hilton Metropole on the massive Bring the Heat promotion. So, last time out, really, really good performance against Charlie Lowe to win your debut. But next up, a big fight down in Brighton. So, first and foremost, from your last performance, what have you been up to and how are you?
I've been really well. Obviously training hard, had a bit of the injury, but then I've come back stronger, more efficient. I've took time to notice where my flaws were, been tweaking on them, just basically getting myself ready for the next fight.
When you look back at the Charlie Lowe fight, I know that prior to you sort of boxing in the competition, I know chatting with your coach, he was telling me a little bit about yourself, and he said, he's aggressive, comes forward, but he literally just throws shots. He will just keep coming forward, he'll keep throwing shots, and that's really exactly how the fight played out against Charlie Lowe. You were on top of him from sort of the minute that first bell sounded, and the pressure was relentless. So is that pretty much sort of your style of fighting?
Well, I think it changes from boxer to boxer. You've got to be able to read your opponent and be able to combat them in a way that it's necessary to get the objective and win the fight. But I am a very forward fighter, and I do try to keep the pressure on. But then watching back at myself, I find you change from fight to fight, because obviously you are there growing, you're leveling up. Every time you're learning more, and you're just progressing as a boxer. So to say that I'll fight the same way I did last time, I can't say that from how much I've progressed since the last fight.
On Saturday, July the 1st, you're fighting Ebrima Ceesay, who makes his debut in the competition.
Yeah.
And again, he's I wouldn't say he's exactly similar to yourself, but he comes forward, he throws shots, he's ready to have a fight. So when you look at your style and how you performed in the last fight, and look at Ceesay, I think this is one of those fights that you're kind of both just going to meet in the middle, depending on game plan, and throw down. So how's preparation been going since the last fight? Because I know you were scheduled to box earlier on in the season, but had a little bit of hand trouble, which sort of kept you out from that fight. But how's preparation been since you've been back?
Well, obviously I'm fighting. I've been sparring with a lot of different fighters, so I'm preparing myself for any sort of anything that's going to happen, anything that he's going to throw at me, I can combat in a different manner from different styles of people I'm fighting, working on my style, changing certain aspects, certain skill levels, moving forward, moving backwards. Instead of being an inside fighter, I'm trying to stay back a bit more, depending on the situation, really. So I can't. It's like I said to you, I can't say how the fight's going to go, because it's to read the fighter and combat him in a manner that seems efficient to win the fight.
How far do you think you can go in the competition? Like you say, we've got a number of your stablemates on the same bill. You've got obviously Shane Minter, who last time out won the novice light cruiserweight title. You've got Michael Tavares, who's on the same bill as well, down in Brighton. He's challenging for the light welterweight title. So you've got a great stable, and you've also got Sean Harris as well. So how far do you think you go? Can you emulate what your sort of gym mates have done?
No, of course. Well, we're all here. We're all a team. We're Team Gauntlet at the end. When we all work together, we all push forward, and we've got a great squad behind us. So there's no reason why I shouldn't get as far as them. And I've got enough confidence in myself to get just as far as they have, if not further.
And what sort of performance would you like to put on Saturday, July the 1st?
Well, it's going to be an entertaining one, 100%. I'm there to obviously entertain. We're entertainers at the end of the day, and that's me all over. If you want a good fight and want to watch a good battle, then I'm the fighter to watch.
Well, I know from your last performance against Lowe, it was action from the moment that first bell sounded to the very last, and I think this is going to be all of that and a little bit more. So,
well, I hope so. It
will be 100%. And like I say, that takes place on Saturday, July the 1st, down at the Brighton Hilton Metropole. Kenny Grimes takes on Ebrima Ceesay on the huge Bring the Heat promotion.